You know, you can find deep wisdom in surprising places. And for the moment, I'm thinking about something I learned a long time ago from a television series. The series, maybe you're old enough to remember, was called Adventures in Paradise. And it was a story based on the novels of James Michener, set in the South Pacific, stories of a sailing ship, a schooner, and its captain, and their adventures in the South Pacific. And in one of these adventures, for some reason, they were shipwrecked on an uncharted island and discovered on this island a collection of people who actually spoke his language. And they, of course, were startled to see these visitors coming from the outside world and thought they must be magnificent and maybe holy. And they asked the captain, Captain Troy was his name, he would explain some of the deep mysteries of their holy tradition and maybe read some of their sacred books for them. And this, of course, was a curious assignment when all of the questions they asked had to do with geometry and trigonometry. And eventually it was revealed that the people on this island were the descendants by several generations of a ship that had been wrecked on the island. And that all they had left from the original crew were the navigation books and the instruments of navigation. And those became their holy relics and their holy wisdom, because these were the things that they knew could get them back home if only they knew how to use it. So there was Captain Troy explaining how to use a sextant and a table of charts and times, and eventually they understood that these were tools. And that's really the lesson, and so often a lesson that we need to remind ourselves. So many of these things that we look up to, sometimes worship, are actually just the tools, things that we need to use to take us to the truth or wherever it is we're going. But the point is to understand that they're tools and not to worship the tools. I think that's one of the reasons so many sacred traditions forbid idol worship, because that's kind of worshiping the tools. Anyway, it's a point worth making, and it's one I'm glad I learned from Adventures in Paradise a long, long time ago. They're tools.